disruptors. See, spirit disruptors are people who see you at peace and get uncomfortable because they can't control you no more. They remember the version of you who used to react to everything. The version of you who would argue, crash out, stress out, gossip back, and let drama consume your mind. But now, you move different. You protect your peace. You think before you react. You don't entertain confusion no more. And that bothers people who live in confusion. See, people who can't find peace in themselves, they study peaceful people just to figure out how to disrupt them. They call you with bad news, bring gossip to your doorstep, speak negative about people all day. They smile in your face while secretly collecting information about your life. They'll pretend they need advice, pretend they need help, pretend they care, but really, they're trying to figure out how did you become so calm without them? Because misery hates emotional discipline. And one thing about spirit disruptors, they always expose themselves through negativity. They never bring solutions. They never bring growth. They never bring accountability. Every conversation with them got drama attached to it. Every story got chaos attached to it. Every interaction with them gonna leave your spirit feeling heavy instead of inspired. That's why heal people start moving different. Stop answering their phone calls. You stop explaining yourself. You stop letting everybody emotionally dump on you. You stop allowing people access to your nervous system. Because everybody smiling at you ain't connected to you spiritually. Some people only come around to study your peace so they can interrupt it. And the dangerous part is, spirit disruptors don't always look like enemies. Sometimes they look like old friends. Sometimes they look like family. Sometimes they look like people checking on you. But pay attention how you feel after every interaction. Do you feel inspired or drained? Do you feel peaceful or anxious? Do you feel focused or distracted? See, your spirit already know who sent to help you and who sent to disturb you. And one of the biggest forms of self-love is learning that everybody don't deserve emotional access to you. Protect your peace, protect your focus, protect your energy. Because once you finally build a peaceful life after surviving chaos, you can't afford.
Hey, how you doing? This is Jay coming back at you from What 5HT channel on YouTube, where we talk about a wide range, I'll say, of topics. You have to excuse me today. It's been a whole lot going on. You know, here we deal with World Health, Academia and Times, and the 5H's is for when you don't really want to deal with the truth. The truth can be hard. The truth hurts. The truth is healthy, and ultimately the truth heals. We're going to be dealing with some hurt and help and hard today. It's a lot going on. I've been trying to stay away from a lot of these topics that's going and a lot of things that's happening right now in our today's time. A lot of it is really not good. We're not in a good place right now. You know, here we deal with the generational divide, and we know we have that. We mainly talk about the baby boomers from 1946 to 1964, the Gen Xers from 1965 to 1980, the millennials from 81 to 96, the Gen Zers from 97 to 2012, the Alpha, which is actually phasing out now to what they call Generation Beta. I have to talk about Generation Beta because of an incident that's going on. It's sad. The last time we was talking, I had a guest on, Mr. Steve. We was dealing with some of our Gen X struggles, from baby boomers to Gen X, and some of the things that they faced and went through. And the post that we opened up with, where the guy was talking about your peace, how you hold to your peace, and how you have spirit disruptors, people coming to you in negative fashions, trying to control your space and your time with all that negativity, robbing you of your peace. And it's hard to tell what they look like because, they can be someone you don't know, someone you just met, someone you've been knowing for quite a long time. It can even be someone within your household where they spirit disruptors, energy drainers, parasites, trying to rob you of your peace. He had a lot of good things to say. If you can take hold of some of those things and just accept it, here we go with some of the hard truths. Some of it hurts, but you got to accept it to move forward. That's the only way it's going to help you. That's the only way you're going to get to being healthy in this spiritual and emotional world that we're living in, and eventually healing. But we in a time of civil unrest, moral decay. I know I talked about Mr. Chow and the Cyrus incident where the Asian guy actually did away with a 14-year-old young man that he assumed was stealing from his store. Chased him down, took his life from behind. Even in the day when I used to watch cowboy movies, one thing you couldn't do is you couldn't shoot anybody in the back. It never stood in the court of law. However, we're in a place now where we've made people to see us in such a way. And the young lady talked about Mr. Chow and some of the things that he actually was partaking in prior to his encounter with the young kid, Cyrus. Listen to the young lady. She's going to drop something on you. I mean, it's like that was not a new situation. It was actually old. It was new to a lot of people because in most instances, people don't keep up with the times and the happenings in our community. A lot of times we are never proactive. We're always reactive. Once we begin to become proactive to where we can prevent some of these tragedies in our neighborhood, maybe we wouldn't always be faced with the outcome that causes us pain and suffering, and we don't have the peace that we're looking for. And every time you look up, you hear the word, no justice, no peace. We're going to deal with that in a little bit. No justice, no peace. Actually, where do you get your peace from? But just check this lady out as she tell you about Mr. Chow and his encounters before the incident with the young man, Cyrus. Check this young lady out for a minute.
This was his third shooting. The jury didn't get to know that, but I'm going to make sure that you know about the two previous shootings before Rick Chow was found not guilty for taking the life of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton. 2015, a woman stole beer and peanuts. Chow says that she then threatened his life, and then she got in a vehicle, so he shot at that vehicle 6 times. Now, thank goodness no one was hurt, but Chow was not charged. Investigators called it self-defense. The second time was in 2018. A man stole oven cleaner. Chow says that man then assaulted him, so he shot him twice. No charges. Self-defense. The man who stole the oven cleaner, though, he was charged in connection with that case. And then we get to 2023. That's when 14-year-old Cyrus went into a convenience store owned by Rick Chow. Chow said that he stole water. Surveillance video showed that he did not. Cyrus ran from that store, and he ran so hard during the 130-yard chase where Rick Chow was chasing him with a weapon and with his son. Cyrus, this child, ran so fast that he ran out of one of his shoes and his belongings fell out of his pocket, including a weapon and then he was shot in the back as he was running away. Chow and his son said that Cyrus pointed that weapon at them, and that's why Chow fired. But they're the only people who say that. The other witnesses say they never saw anything in Cyrus's hand. And according to the prosecution's experts, Cyrus was shot in the back while he was running away, so how would he have been pointing a weapon that was on the ground that had fallen out of his pocket as he ran for his life? And a lot of people want to say, well, a 14-year-old had a weapon. That's the end of the story. Not guilty for Chow. Having a weapon, no matter what age, does not automatically mean someone gets to take your life. Is it a-okay hunky-dory that a 14-year-old had a weapon? No, but that is not the end of this case. I personally do not believe that he was pointing it at Chow or his son. I believe the witnesses that were there that didn't have a relative on the line for going to prison for this. Other people want to say, well, he may have put the water down, but he planned to steal. Planning to steal or even stealing should not be a death sentence. If he stole a bottle of water, which he did not, but even if he did, call the police. Put up a sign that says this kid stole a bottle of water, a basic necessity of life, and he's no longer allowed in this store. If a woman steals beer and peanuts, call the police. Put up a sign that says this woman stole beer and peanuts. She's not allowed in this store. If a man steals oven cleaner, put up a sign. Call the police. None of those things should be death sentences. And the fact that people are online saying, well, he intended to steal. Well, he had a weapon. You think that means a 14-year-old child should have died? I hope you'll really think about that. I just wanted to make sure everyone knows about the 2 previous shootings. The jury did not, and I have to wonder if that would have changed their opinion. But of course, since they were self-defense and Chow wasn't charged, of course the jury didn't know about it. I wonder what they'll think about it when they find out. Rest in peace to Cyrus Carmack Belton. Let me know if anything in this...
Okay, you heard everything she had to say. Did anybody know that? Most of us didn't know that. No, it's not televised. That's not on your local news. It's not popular. You know what's popular on your local news. You know what they push. The main thing they push on the local news is for you to hate the image in the White House. Keep your mind on him. Keep you distracted from the goings that's right in your community. And a lot of things that happen in our community, we don't care to face it off. In Gen X and baby boomers days, we were the protectors of our neighborhood. We cared what happened in our neighborhood. We didn't embrace criminals and criminal acts. If Mr. Smith's house was broken into, you better not go a couple of blocks over the corner trying to sell the goods that you got out of Mr. Smith's house, because somebody's going to tell Mr. Smith that it was you. That's gone. That's one thing that we've been robbed of. It's dead now. It's called a snitch. I get it. Okay, then since we saw the situation with Mr. Chow and Cyrus, and Chow gets to go home, and Cyrus is no longer with us. So we decided we'll boycott, right? Let me show you how they feel about us. This is another guy that looked like Mr. Cyrus. In response to us boycotting. Check out how he feel about us.
Now, I came across this video on my timeline, and I wanted to share it with y'all because this is another example of these Asians playing in y'all face. And I'm going to say y'all because I told you I don't even patronize they shit. But he says that he loves when black people say they're going to boycott their businesses because, long story short, he don't need the money. He said they got plenty of customers. They don't even need black people money. He goes on to say that we should be embarrassed because we have immigrants outworking us. So the next time y'all enter one of their establishments, I just want this to stay fresh in y'all mind.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty-ass attitudes, okay? Please, boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
So he pretty much calling y'all bluff. Put them out of business and let them go set up shop in the neighborhoods of the people that they respect. So that way, them folks can make them rich instead of us.
Do you see that? How did you think he got to that place? See, we got expectations. Things that should be and how it should be as it pertains to us, especially when it doesn't go right. But rather than being proactive, we be reactive. Proactive is to catch Cyrus before he get in the state that he's in. Oh no, by all means, I'm not making excuses for Chow. That was a heinous act, Doc. Really bad. Had the roles been twisted around, I'm pretty sure the outcome would have been totally different. But let's just talk about Cyrus. If we be proactive, we'll catch Cyrus before he get in the place to where he's actually walking around armed. 14 years old, man. He's still a kid. And now, here we are. The guy we just heard, that's exactly how they feel about us. But why do you think they feel that way about us? They have a reason for feeling that way. Some of it is what they've been taught and told before they got here. Some of it is what is being bombarded through our music, through our entertainment, movies, thanks to Mr. Tyler Perry and others like him. Show us in a bad way all the time. We always angry. We always doing something wrong, something bad. So they being programmed to see us in that fashion. Do you get it? Do you understand it, my friend? Do you really get it and understand it, my friend? This real, where we are now. We heading in a bad place of this moral decay that we're suffering and this civil unrest that we are experiencing within this country, as they ask you and challenge you and focus you in a whole nother direction while they do deeds that's going to affect us for the rest of our lives. Okay, let me show you something. This is some of the things that they see. And it might be one of the reasons that they view us like they view us. But my question is, what do we do about it? Now I want you to check this next clip out here about us. This is totally us now.
I'm going to go through 10 examples because y'all think I'm playing and y'all act like it's anecdotal. Roll the clip. So that's the 15-year-old getting hit. All right, time out. Everybody there is black. Now, of course, that boy don't look like that little boy. They picked a picture of him when he was 3. But all these boys black. And this is what they doing to their own people. This is what made me mad, because we got activist groups that are activating their efforts for racism and discrimination. But you got young brothers killing each other in your city. Where's the activist group for brothers killing each other? All these young boys, ain't a white person in sight. Killed your own brother over nothing. I know it's nothing. They arguing over nothing. Killed a 15-year-old boy. Here go another clip. Roll it.
Be that, ho, y'all. I can keep looking, ho. Get that ho, that who, ho? Don't touch it. That hoe tripping. That hoe tripping. Turn that hoe, Deanna. Walk round to them, hit nobody, ho. Walk round to it. Come on, Deanna. Yeah, come on. Let's go, Deanna. Let them shoes out,
I always have to give qualifiers. A lot of black people look at that same thing and don't like it. But that behavior like that is why the community is bad and why black people get judged. I'm telling you, man, I grew up in that environment. I want nothing to do with being around too many black people. And I'm not saying in every circumstance. I like to be around a lot of good black people. But when you move in some of these communities where they acting like that, you don't want to be there. It's too dangerous. You don't want to raise a family like that. And it's so out of control because nobody's want to say anything. If you know, black folk, I know a lot of black folks that do well. And I like being around good black folks that's doing the right thing. But it's too many doing this, and it gives us all a bad look.
All right. That's the black experience right there. I know. We're used to it. It's fine. It's all right. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's just us. That's how we do it. That's how we get down. Okay, then. Well, Mr. Chow see that. Mr. Chow afraid of you, man. Mr. Chow said you don't even care for your own kind. Mr. Chow said no one is accountable for what they do in their own community. The other guy that got on and just told us everything we do, how we act, how we respond to things, how our neighborhood thrives, and how our kids are, as well as ourselves. This is how they view us. But you just see that? The black experience. That was us on us. I got a question. What do you have to say about that? I'm talking about being proactive now, not reactive. Can we gain control of our own house? Can we actually get control of our own house while we trying to run the world? You can't run the world. Can't get control of your own house. What are we doing here? I know what we're doing. We depending on our idol gods. That's what we're doing. That Carmelo Anthony case, man, Kay and I, we've been on that thing day one. I just decided I wouldn't even talk about it because I knew it was going to be made out to be a racial thing. But some kind of way, Mr. Sharpton and Mr. Crump got X'd out of that. I wonder what happened. I wonder what it was about. Young man, accomplished, mother and father in the home. Said he was good in school. The only problem was he lived in a sundown town. And what happened was not in his favor. I can kind of relate to that just a little bit. I think I've told you guys on a couple of posts. I've actually experienced a couple of racist acts straight toward me. And one that I'll never forget, being in high school. You know, we bus to another school where people that don't look like us. And by the time I get there, we about 3/4 the population. So it's only about 1/4 of them left. So I goes there. This is story time. I goes there, leaving a school that my mom did everything she could to keep me in that school because I wanted to go there. I wanted to be there. I wanted to play football. I was already on the football team, and you know, I wanted to stay right at that school right there where I knew everyone. Kind of semi-popular there, but I started getting in trouble. It didn't work out. I had to sit out of a year because I was supposed to go to this other school that I'm about to tell you about. So being that I transferred back to the school that they was busing me from. You remember, here we go. We going with the segregation now. The segregation integration thing. We want to integrate now. So I'm at this school. I could have easily been Carmelo Anthony. Some case somewhat similar, but just some of the things was a little different the way it rolled out. But yeah, I'm new at the school. Don't know anyone probably much. Just a few people from my neighborhood that was bused to the school as well. And my friend next door, which I call my brother. We hung together. We called each other brothers because we had the same last name. And people actually believed we were brothers, but we really wasn't. But we treated each other as such. And we on our way to what you call a pep rally, a Friday pep rally. You know, it's Friday. We have game day. They're going to be playing at night. So we're on our way to the gymnasium. Most of the people are already there. My play brother and I, we walking through the hallway, and we encounter these two big guys that don't look like us. And for some reason, he just picked me out. There wasn't a lot of people in the hallway. Actually, it was just he and his buddy. They were the captain of the football team. And they both of them played defense now. They were the captain of the football team. So these guys were huge, big guys, you know. And I'm still like this little guy, kind of like Carmelo in a way, you know. And this guy circled me. He called me all kind of N-words. He called me boy. He was pointing in the top of my head because he was much taller than I was. I didn't have any fear or nothing. I was more shocked. And I looked at my play brother and I said, just tell me this guy is not saying this to me. And he looked right at me and he said, yes, he is. He said everything. Yeah, he said it. And he continued to circle me and point in the top of my head, calling me boy, calling me the N-word and talking about what I'm going to do. And by this time, I'm starting to like boil over, and it kind of got loud, and one of the teachers that was still in his room heard the commotion in the hallway, and he came out and he diffused it. He stopped it, you know? So after this, I didn't know how to take that. I said, I just left for school. I'm trying not to be and, you know, I just left for school trying to stay out of trouble. You know, I can say this. I was in trouble just doing, like missing school. I was all out of character. And I knew that this is not who I am. So I'm going to this school now because I want to change all these characteristics that I had that was actually causing me to fail in life. And I've never been that. I've always been that guy that I go all the way in. I don't care what it is. Whatever it is I involve myself in, I go all the way in, and I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to be one of the best, if not the best. So that stumped me really bad. It stumped me really, really bad. It really, really did. And for days, I would walk through the hallway and I would see this guy. And I would just look at him and stare at him. I didn't know anything about him. Then I started hearing the word about him that, you know, he was the big guy. He's the guy that ran everything. He was the captain of the defense on the football team. Everyone was afraid of him. He was a bully. And one of the big guys that was in our neighborhood, he went to the same school, and he was afraid of him as well. And I couldn't understand it. I'm like, I know you're not afraid of him. You around here bullying everybody else. You let this guy bully you. So I'm walking through, and I'm saying, I can't let this be, because it bothered me on the inside. It kept bothering me. And myself, I don't have a real brother. You know, I just have two sisters. You know, they both younger than I am. And finally, I looked at this guy and I say, I'm going to do something about this. And I would say a good 2 weeks went by. I would look at him in the hallway every day. And I woke up one morning on our way to school before we got on that bus. And I looked at my brother. I said, today is the day. He said, huh? I said, today is the day. It's going down. He said, okay, I'm with you. That was his word. He didn't, no matter what, he didn't even know what I was talking about at that moment. But he said, I'm with you. So we get to the gymnasium. I catch him in the same situation, except we're not on our way to the gymnasium for a pep rally. We going in the gymnasium for the pep rally. And when I get in, it was still segregated in a way, because 3/3 of us that looked like me, because we had started taking over the school because they bused so many, and the more of us they bused there, the more of them went away from that school because they didn't want to be around us. So that little 25% of them would take up 1/2 of one side of the gymnasium, and they always sat together. That day, my play brother and I, we went and sat in their section. And the whole gymnasium looked at us and all like, what are they doing? What's wrong with them? Are they actually sitting over there? I was positioning myself for a reason. We went, and I went all the way to the top as they sat down on the bottom. And I'm looking at him, and he looking back at me. And I'm shaking my head up and down just like this. Yeah, this me. I'm up here, and I'm in y'all section now. Check this out. And then as soon as the pep rally was over, I rushed down to the bleachers. He walking hand in hand with his girlfriend, bumped his girlfriend out the way. And I asked him a question. I said, am I that N-word that you calling me? He said, oh, just go on. I said, no. Am I still a boy? I'm that boy? Oh, man, just go on. No. And before I know it, as soon as we stepped out of the gymnasium, I'm all over him. And so he reached in his pocket and he grabbed out this weapon. I think it was a box cutter, because I heard he worked at a warehouse. So he had a box cutter. And I got strength out of nowhere, because this guy was huge. I just got strength out of nowhere, and I slung him around, and I told my brother, I said, he got a knife. And my play brother, yeah, he was ready too, because he was that type of guy. But anyway, long story short, I could have easily been Carmelo Anthony, man, off decision making, man. I could have easily been him. I kind of understand in a way, but I'm going to tell you one thing about me. I've never been a place where I wouldn't want it. If I ain't wanted somewhere, man, I don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't understand why he would be under that tent if he felt like he wasn't wanted. I know a lot of different stories that came out. I get it. I hate this situation, but I'm just saying, no justice, no peace. Do you understand where they're trying to take us to? We make up 13% of this country as far as population-wise. 40 million, 45, maybe 50 million on a good day. Throw in the Hispanics, 60 million. That's 110. Let's throw in the Asian, we'll get them 30 million. It's 140. It's 370 million people in this country or more. Who you think the rest of that, once you subtract that 140, you got roughly 230 I'm talking about 230 million people left. Who do you think they are? What you think they look like? And you talking about, are you really want to go into a battle? It look like they trying to pull up this confrontation between the races now. You really want that battle? We can't even trust ourselves in our own neighborhood, man. And one thing about them, even if they don't like each other, they know when to come together. We haven't mastered that yet, my brother, my sister. We need to be proactive first. Get our house, clean our house up, man. And then we look for these idols, man. We look for idols in politicians. We look for idols in musicians. We look for idols in athletes. We got all these false idols, man. All these false gods, man, that we literally worship. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. And then we got the politicians that have been in power forever, and we keep voting for them, the same one, and we looking for change. The word is, how can you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different outcome? What are we doing?
Mitch McConnell is 84 years old, Nancy Pelosi is 86, Maxine Waters is 87, and Chuck Grassley is 92. And every time I see any one of those people, I always end up asking the same question. Why won't they retire? What is it about political power that makes people hold on to the very end? But this isn't new, y'all. Humans have been doing this for thousands of years. The first thing I learned was that this isn't actually a Congress problem. Roman senators did it, kings did it, judges do it, CEOs do it, university presidents do it. The closer people get to power, the harder it seems to be able to walk away from it. And honestly, the reason makes a whole lot of sense. Because after enough years, the job stops being something you do. It becomes who you are. Think about it. If you spent 30, 40, 50 years being called senator, congresswoman, speaker, chairman, leader, that's not just a title anymore. That's your identity. That's your routine. That's your influence. That's your purpose. That's the room where people stop talking when you start talking. Walking away isn't just leaving a job. It's leaving a version of yourself that you spent decades building. But here's the part that really surprised me. The system actually rewards staying. The longer you're in Congress, the more advantages you have. More name recognition, more donors, more relationships, more influence, more committee assignments, more power, right? In a weird way, Congress actually becomes one of the few jobs where experience becomes an advantage that keeps compounding over time. The longer you've been there, the harder it becomes for someone else to replace you. Then I started thinking about something else. Most of these people don't actually think they're the problem. They think they're the solution. If you spent 40 years in Washington, you're probably not sitting there thinking, maybe it's time for somebody else younger to take over. What you're probably thinking is, I know how this place works. I have experience. I know the players. I still have something to offer. And to be fair, they probably do. But I think there's something even more human happening. Nobody likes becoming irrelevant. Nobody. Not politicians, not celebrities, not CEOs, not professors, not regular people. Humans get used to mattering. They get used to people returning their calls, listening when they speak, wanting their opinion. And once you've had that for decades, giving it up is harder than most people want to admit. Because power isn't just influence, it's validation, it's purpose, it's identity. And the longer somebody has it, the harder it becomes to imagine life without it. And maybe that's the real answer. Maybe the reason we keep seeing the same names isn't because they're uniquely qualified. Maybe it's because human beings are a lot better at acquiring power than surrendering it. Because if democracy is supposed to be government by the people, eventually the people have to change. New generations are supposed to show up. New voices are supposed to emerge. New ideas are supposed to challenge old ones. That's part of the deal. And if the same generation keeps holding the wheel decade after decade after decade, sooner or later you have to ask, are they preparing the next generation to lead? Or are they so afraid of becoming irrelevant that they can't imagine letting it go? Because history is full of people who wanted power. It's much shorter on people who knew when it was time to leave.
They got lasting power, man. It's about the money. and they pass it on to another group, and we start voting for them. Now they feel like they're irreplaceable. They got this thing. And then this power thing begin to poison their mind and their brains, man. And then the power turned to pride. And we know what happened with pride. Proverbs 16 and 18 said, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall. Pride goeth before destruction, man. And we following them. They leading us straight to destruction, doc. Don't tell me nothing about Ben Crump. He about to come around now because of the incident that just happened in San Antonio, man. I told you I'm going to talk about Generation Beta. That baby was 1 year old. I don't know what happened at that store. I don't even like to talk about this stuff, man, but it's real. But they trying to drive us to a place, man, in this civil unrest, man. They want a racial thing to happen, and they want it bad. But I need you to be careful and think. Pick your battle, man. You don't ever want to go in battle and you know you're going in the underdog and you gonna lose. Don't play no games with me. Play them with yourself. I'm a realist, doc, and I keep it real. Where my soldiers at? Oh, I get it. My soldiers in the neighborhood taking each other out. That's where they are. My soldiers in the neighborhood betraying each other. Stabbing each other in the back, man, for gain. That's where my soldiers are. And the other ones, they on the radio telling them to do it. And then we got these other people that we put in power, encouraging us to move on. Now here come Ben Crump again. Now you want to go down in San Antonio, Mississippi to manipulate and take advantage of some young people. I don't know what they did. The story's still unfolding. That's why I ain't talking about Carmelo. Been knowing about Carmelo, man. I've been knowing about Cyrus, man. That's one thing Kay do, man. One thing Kay do, her favorite thing is she watch court TV and she catch all the cases well before any of us will ever hear about them. That's Kay. That's what she does. That's a part of who she is outside of being in the medical field. Nurse. Kay love court TV. We been knew about all this stuff, man. It ain't new to us. It's new to a lot of people that's on these social media sites that just talking about it and ranting about it, bumping their guns together, man. And half of them don't even know what they talking about because the story hasn't finished being unfolded. Carmelo was in a sundown town, man. What more could you expect out of that? Parents being manipulated by these bloodsuckers. Man, we in a dying society, man. And we gonna go down with them. That's what's up. There's a young lady. She do her thing, man, on social media. Miss May. I kind of listen to her, man, because she's very passionate. She's not one-sided. She's gonna check you when you're wrong. It doesn't matter who you are. When it comes to politics, Democrat or Republican, she don't care. She's all about right. Coming out of Seattle, Washington, man. And I'm pretty sure a lot of our cities are experiencing the same thing. But I want you to listen to Miss May and her situation. in Seattle, Washington, in this dying society that we living in. Check out Miss May.
I need everybody to share this out. I'm in Washington State. We are number 1 in fentanyl overdose deaths. We are number 2 in property crimes. We are number 3 in homelessness. I do not understand why we aren't on the map, and we have Pramila Jayapal sitting up here saying that we need to give reparations to Somalians. Right now, Washington State started with a $14 billion surplus at the beginning of Jay Inslee's term 12 years ago. Right now, we are in a $14 billion deficit, and we stand to lose our AAA rating. They are depending on a millionaire's tax, which is unconstitutional in our state. We do not have a capital gains tax. It is written into our state constitution. Our Senate passed this unconstitutional law knowing that when it gets to the Circuit of Appeals, it will be overturned. All the money that they collect from millionaires will have to be refunded. The AAA rating, Moody's said that we have no way to balance our budget. None in the foreseeable future. We have schools closing down. Only almost $100 million came up missing out of Seattle school districts. And they're eventually going to have to close up to 20 schools. Last year, the superintendent quit because he didn't want to do it on his watch. He didn't want to have that on his resume. He retired. Seattle, Washington is a fucking shithole. Our mental health system is crippled. We have people living in tiny houses, tent cities that are raping children as young as 5 years old. In the state of Washington, children can start gender affirming care at 9. At 13 years old, the state of Washington has given children the complete control over their health care rights. They can go get abortions. They can get gender affirming care. We need federal oversight. Right now, Washington State, because of our gas taxes, gas is $6.09 for regular unleaded. We need federal oversight. They need to get here now. We brought in so many immigrants. All of our project housing is built up with nothing but immigrants, illegals, and refugees. All of our affordable housing has been taken by illegals, refugees, and migrants. We've had hotels. We rolled out over $50 billion in hotels in 6 months alone. We need to have federal oversight over our nonprofit organizations, Urban League, Salvation Army, St. Vincent de Paul, St. Mary's Place. Please get here. Our city is dying. Our city is dying. I was born and raised here. I do not recognize my city anymore. We need these people to come. An elderly man that was 71 years old was just attacked in our downtown for no reason. We have had people killed on our transit. Children murdered. We need federal oversight. Seattle, Washington is no different than Chicago. It is no different than LA. It is no different than New York. We are just smaller in size. We need the same federal oversight, and we need it now. We got to get all these people out of HUD housing and get these people off the streets. We are building tiny homes. They took away behavioral health from the most dangerous children in this state and started the needle exchange program to kill Americans. We need Trump. We need somebody to come check on us. They have our taxes so high we cannot leave. Right now, our taxes is 10.1%. Children are dying from gun violence left and right. Children are being killed because they're giving back to their drug addict addicted parents. A family was just paid $130 million after they gave the baby back to a dope fiend ass parent. We need federal oversight, and we need it bad. These loony liberals have destroyed Washington. It was a beautiful place. Beautiful. We had our shit, but it was never like this. Never. We have people panhandling on the corners, having sex on fucking streets, on sidewalks in front of our children. Your children will be propositioned for sex standing at the bus stop in the morning. It is traumatizing our children. We need help. Our schools are overcrowded. And when I mean they are overcrowded, they are overcrowded. Some of the school districts can't even do their summer programs no more. We need federal oversight. Washington State right now has all of our murders are going unsolved. Like 80-something% of our murders are going unsolved. You can literally kill somebody here and get away with it. Nobody's going to come look for you. We have crazy people throwing rocks off of the freeways, killing people. We are #1 in road rage. We had over 20 deaths last year from road rage alone. That's how tense people are here. You are scared driving down the street. You do not even want to look nobody in the eyes. And everybody here acts like it's cool. It's not okay. This was a wholesome place. This was somewhere you wanted to raise your children. And people are leaving here by the thousands every year. And this millionaire tax is going to cripple us. Starbucks just said they're out of here. Boeing's already left and put a plant in North Carolina years ago. The writing is on the wall. We are going to tank ourselves if the federal government does not come now. And we need it to be under a Republican administration. Seattle, Washington is dying. Somebody please throw us a lifeline.
All right, you can see that she was very passionate, and she was calling out for help. She don't care where it's coming from, who it's coming from. We biased. I heard her mention the federal government. I don't know. She may have said Trump. Did she? I don't know. But if she did, most of people look like me. We hate the man for what? Why don't you hate those politicians that's been in office forever, that you've been voting for over and over and over and over again? What about them? And you act like this guy has dictated policies that fuels and disrupt our community on a daily basis. No, this has been an accumulation of politicians, both Democrat and Republicans, that's got us where we are today. That's got the Asian people not trusting us, the Hispanic people not trusting us, the European people not trusting us. Nobody on the planet trusts the American black. And then we in the community just, I don't know what we doing in our community. How did that baby end up in a situation like that? We'll find out as the news continue to unfold. Mr. Trump, man, you're going to face something one day, man, with your manipulation. And now you're going to go and encourage a crowd to do things that probably will never help their community. And if you thinking of fighting back, what kind of fighting back are you talking about? Be careful. Be careful. Be careful, especially when you have people that's trained in a certain area. Think of a boxer, a trained boxer, been training all his life, fighting amateur, now fighting pros, been very successful, undefeated record. And now you gonna get in the ring with them and you expect to win. Are you serious? Let's get serious and quit being emotional. You better get serious. Because if I can get you to act in your emotions, I'm going to pull the Muhammad Ali trick on you. I'm going to beat you down when everybody thought you really should have took me. But no, you in your emotions. But I'm thinking and I got you. You won't lead me to a place of no return. Nah, I'll go on my own, but I won't let you lead me. Trust me. Who truly helps us? Did you hear Miss May? This is nothing new. It's not isolated to Seattle, Washington. And she just said that. She told you what's going on in California. She told you what's going on in Chicago, New York. Let's just go around the entire country. Same thing. You being replaced. Child don't like you. Lee don't like you. Because they just play with you. Probably don't like you either. But the sad part about it is, I don't even think we like us. I'm telling you, the music corrupt, the movies corrupt, the music induces the wicked things that we do in our mind. In the same fashion, we lost all our morals because they encourage us to. And they encourage us to do it to one another. And we do it. Have we found our gods right here on this planet? Our idols right here on this planet? I would say so. Because we are drowning in idolatry. We drowning in it. And it produces nothing but false hope. And your demise when it's all over. Sometimes I'm lost for words. I'm just going to read a couple of things and I'm going to get out of here, man. I just wanted to say something about all this stuff that's going on in our cities today. And why we being distracted. So many laws constantly being passed and pushed through that's going to continue to help with our demise. You'll never know about the laws because you're too busy being mad about all the racist thing that's going on against your community. According to the CDC and other reports, as far as people that keep up with crime rate, every day in our community, anywhere from 29 to 37 people are taken away every day. So if we do the math, within the last days, especially with Camelo's sentencing, and it was pushed through so fast and rapid, they knew what they were doing. 8 days, 9 days, multiply that. Let's just multiply it by 30. That's 270 people in our community that we don't know anything about. Gone. family grieving, family hurting. Where you at, Mr. Crump? If you wanted so much money, why don't you be on all 270 cases? Maybe it'll help build your money. Oh, I forgot. That's not the narrative. You need to find a white police officer with a black suspect. Where were you when the immigrant did his thing to young Cyrus? Oh, I forgot. It doesn't meet the narrative, sir. When are we going to get our own neighborhood in control? Proactive rather than being reactive. Right now we reactive. They got us on our emotions. Don't do the wrong thing, people. No justice, no peace. That's what you say. I get it. What kind of peace are you looking for? You're looking for false hope, false peace, worldly peace? So false, so worldly. They don't have anything for you, bro. Trust me. Let me read Corinthians, man. 1 Corinthians 8 chapter 7 verse. Howbeit, there is not in every man that knowledge, for some with conscience of the idol until this hour eat it as a thing of offered unto an idol, and their conscience being weak is defiled. Howbeit, there's not every man with that knowledge. He's talking about the knowledge of Christ, the Christ consciousness, my brother and sister. And he say, for some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat or learn it as the thing offered unto idols. You learning those same things that's offered to the idol, and the idol is giving it back to you. You eat it. You ingest it. You learn it. And what did you do? And their conscience being weak is defiled. Your conscience being weak. They already sold out. Now your conscience being weak. Now you are defiled, just like them. It's in the music, bro. You one of them. They trained you and taught you to be one of them. That's why child's scared of you. Okay? That's why Jose don't trust you. Okay? Okay? That's why Mr. Chad keeps his eye on you. You learning things of idols, man. These same people that you idolize. Verse 10 said, for if any man see thee, which has knowledge, sit at meat in the idol's temple, still not the conscience of him which is weak, be emboldened to eat those things which are offered to the idol. Let's talk about that. For if any man see thee, which has knowledge, you're supposed to have knowledge, but you sitting at meat in the idol's temple. In other words, you sitting there communing with him. You learning everything that he produces and everything that he know he is teaching you. And now you has become him. What it says, shall not the conscience of him which is weak, which being you weak, but now you emboldened to eat those same things that man that you idolize eat. Care who it is, bro. If they leading you on the path of destruction, because pride come before destruction, and most of them prideful anyway, because they think they're supposed to be your teacher. Dumb as a box of rocks. And you follow? Are you for real? They say make it make sense. They put it to a beat and make it sound good. Are you for real? Now you out, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. You ain't got peace anyway. There's no peace in your house. You looking for peace in all the wrong places. You're looking for peace in all the wrong places, my friend. How can one give you peace if they don't have peace to offer you? You're not talking to a peaceful people. You're not talking to a peaceful nation. You can't find peace here. I'm just gonna say, keep it real, man. This is tough for me, man. I'm doing it. I didn't even want to do it. I don't even want to talk. I didn't want to talk about this, but I'm looking at the climate and I'm seeing where this thing is going. And they trying to take us in a place, man. And I'm telling you, don't bite the bait. They already tried you with this immigration fight in ICE, and now they're going to try you again. This little baby that just tragically lost his life innocently, I guarantee you there's another story somewhere in this country, the same story. But we need a narrative now. We're trying to induce you to be emboldened to do that which we do. So you sitting at meat with the idol that you cherish. Get out there and do this. Ben Crump, go sit down. Al Sharpton, you too old. You ain't brought nothing to us anyway. If you ain't brought it in all this time, you're not gonna bring it. And we had people in office that had a chance to do something. The one that's supposed to look like us. So don't come to me with that. You fool other people. Them same people that idolize you, my brother. They sit at meat with you. And now they are being emboldened. And so now they have become defiled. They have become defiled and foul, just like yourself. And now that pride that's set up in you has begun to set up in them. Their pride is leading them to destruction. And shortly after that comes the fall. What kind of peace are you looking for? You're looking for the wrong peace. You're looking for the wrong peace. You're looking for peace right here. If you ever think it's coming, don't fool yourself. Yeshua, the one that walked that had Christ consciousness, where we need to be finding ourselves, talking about vibes and energies and frequencies and waves. He was on all of that. He had a consciousness that superseded everybody else. He said you can get there, but you don't want to get there because you got yourself an idol God. Oh, yes, you do. And then most of you say, I don't believe that what you talking anyway. Okay, you going to believe something. If you don't believe this, you believe in the idol God. You believe in something. I hear a lot of people talking about the ancestors. I want to say this to you. How do you think whoever you believe in and whoever you follow, how do you think they're going to come to your rescue if you are in rebellion to everything that they believe and did? Keep it real. I'm not here to play, Doc. Because this is real and we're going to a place. Joshua said in John 14:27, he said, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. That's when you reach that Christ consciousness and you can come to a peace and you understand and realize you're supposed to be knowledgeable. We're talking about real peace now. He said he's going to give you peace, not like the world give it. See, you looking for world peace. No justice, no peace. You asking for a person that don't even care about you. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. I'm sick of hearing that term. No justice, no peace. Because I've been hearing it all my life. And we still ain't got no justice. What are you talking about? You just uttering words. Empty words, man. With no substance. Let me read to you Philippians 4:7. It's saying the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ. They say Jesus, but I'm going to tell you, Yahshua. And when I say the peace of God, I'm talking about the peace of the Most High, Yahweh. The peace of the Most High. The peace of Yahweh. The peace of Yahweh, which passes all understanding. See, you ain't got to understand this because you ain't got no understanding in the world anyway because you continue to be lost because you continue to follow out after a same and asking for the same thing that the world cannot give you, and that is peace. And it says, and it'll keep your hearts and mind through that Christ consciousness, man. You got to reach your consciousness. Children, little children, spiritually, on milk. Little children. Yahshua says, suffer the children, though, to come to him, though. Little children. Get away from the idols. They leading you down a path, man. This is not good. All this stuff has been planned. It was orchestrated so close so close, right back to back. This child thing is older than 3 years old. The Carmelo Anthony thing, almost 2 years old, Doc. And then they brought it all together in this close time, in this close span. And then as soon as you already in uproar about immigrants, talking about get rid of ICE, you losing it, bro. You losing it. No justice, no peace. That's all you hear everywhere. And then all of a sudden, here come this innocent baby. I don't know what happened. But some kind of way, we're going to be disappointed and we still going to find an excuse. But there's no way that you can sign out for all these atrocities that just happened with Carmelo. By me sharing my story with you, that could have easily been me. With Chow and Cyrus. I don't know why the young man was doing that or even thought about doing it, but he didn't do it. And then running away. And then this baby. Why you running if you didn't do anything? You can't get away. When you walk in Walmart, when you walk in Target, when you walk in Sam Club, all these Fortune 500 places, these surveillance, they got facial recognition, facial identification now. The same thing that they've been having in China is here now. When you walk in that place, every credit card that you got in your pocket is automatically scanned and you don't even know it. The technology is stone crazy, but you just stuck on, I can do this, I can manipulate it, I can get away. You cannot get away. Why you running? If you don't have the money, I appreciate you just asking and what people say begging. It might take you an hour to get up on that money. And if you didn't do it, why you running? Stop it. And quit making excuses for them, people. Tired of this, man. This guy, man, just like he said about the music. Just listen to it. Listen to what he said about the music. And I'm going to close on that note.
It's a reason why some people keep crashing out, and it's not just their environment. It's what they're listening to every single day. A recent study came out again showing how music influences behavior. But I don't think people really understand how deep that actually goes. Because music isn't just entertainment, it's repetition. And repetition is conditioning. And what you repeat eventually becomes normal. When you listen to crash out drill music all day, violence stops sounding extreme. And not because you're a bad person, but because your brain adjusts to what it hears repeatedly. And what people don't think about is you you're not just conditioning yourself, you conditioning your children and everyone around you too. People allow their sons to listen to drill music all day and then wonder why they grow up aggressively and emotionally reactive and idolizing crash out behavior, because to them that lifestyle isn't dangerous or risky, it's familiar, even if they didn't grow up living it themselves. That familiarity, it creates acceptance. And it's the same thing with daughters, playing nothing but hypersexualized music, glorifying sex work, glorifying attention, glorifying validation. Then people wonder why their daughters grow up thinking attention equals value. But it's because children, they don't separate music from reality. They absorb it. And it's because music is one of the most powerful teachers of culture. And the deeper part is music, it doesn't just influence behavior, it influences identity. And if you think I'm lying, ask many people who grew up listening to Jay-Z, Gucci, Jeezy. I'm not saying it's their fault, but a lot of us wanted to hustle or actually hustle because we were influenced by the lyrics in their music. I remember when Jeezy dropped TM101, one of the best albums ever in my opinion. I remember the impact it had culturally. And if you was growing up around that time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because when you listen to music repeatedly, you start seeing yourself in the lifestyle that you're hearing. And it's even more dangerous today. And I'm not saying it's right, but when I grew up, rappers rapped about selling drugs, getting money, buying big homes, having cars, having jewelry. But today they primarily rap about doing drugs and being drug abusers, being suicidal and sad, depressed. This heavily impacts the youth today. And it's why I personally really don't listen to crash out drill music. And I definitely don't play it around children. Because you can't say you want peace while constantly feeding your mind chaos. You can't say you want discipline while steady feeding your mind impulsiveness. Which is why I listen to instrumentals, inspirational music, jazz music, get money music. Because what you listen to quietly shapes the person that you become. And most people don't realize that music is one of the most consistent influences in your life. You might listen to music for 2 to 4 hours a day. That's more time than most people spend reading, learning, praying, or even thinking intentionally. So the question becomes, if music is programming your mind, who is doing the programming? Because whether people realize it or not, you're not just choosing music, you're choosing influence. And what you're listening to daily might be shaping your future more than you think.
That's all I got for y'all, man. Serious, that's all I got for you today. I just did this. I really didn't plan to do it. I just felt the need. I need to say something. My heart go out to the everybody that suffered in this. I'll make some of y'all mad too by saying this. Even Metcalf. If his son was doing something wrong that caused him to be in the place that he is, I don't celebrate that young man gone. Y'all need to stop this foolishness, bro. Because when it hit your house, you will understand clearly. Because it definitely has visited my family on a couple of occasions. And on that note, we're not going to do a K Mill of the day on this one. But you check out her writings as well. I don't feel like a K Mill right now. I don't know if I want to commune like that right now. But you check out her writings. Exclusive, original. She's a writer too. We're going to get into that real soon. Got a baby boomer guest coming up as well. Till then, y'all, I'm going to be signing out. It's not been a good day. Y'all know what I normally say. What the flux? I'm out of here.